Hello and welcome to Downs the Call podcast.
Yes, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
I'm good. I mean, I can't speak today. I'm doing good, John. How are you, bro?
I'm as well as can be. I've had like a good, interesting week. How about yourself?
Yeah, same, man. Same. Had a good, interesting week. Just been chilling. Just doing normal stuff as you do.
Cool.
Normal lifestyle for me. Yeah.
Cool. Bro, I will tell you that I do feel like a little bit tired today, but I'm grateful for this coffee that you supplied. and the funny thing is, I'm chuckling because listen. So basically, the copies are on Jacob today, and
copies on me today.
Fair play to me. He rang me earlier on. We must have. I think the amount of time that we spend working with each other, we're becoming like telepathic now.
Yeah.
So he's like. John, you want a coffee? Yes, please. And then he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I just wanted to say black coffee. But I'm like, Jacob, I want a vanilla, I want a latte with pumpkin spice. And then the phone cut out.
Yeah, the phone rung. I
thought you was disgusted.
No. Like I said to you earlier, bro. I'm like, I like that. I love pumpkin spice. Like when it comes to I'm like when it comes to old coffees,
yeah,
I like trying all sort of flavors.
Okay.
So and like it's saying like I can remember, I don't know who said it, but it's saying when it comes to the fall season or autumn for us UK listeners, when the autumn season's out, Starbucks always does a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
And I can remember who I remember this with this girl, I think her name was Sam, I can't remember, but she said, I'm a basic bitch when it comes to autumn because all she just drinks is pumpkin spice latte. And when she said that, my eyes widened. I was like, yeah I do that an awful lot. So when you said pumpkin spice, I was like,
but the thing was, when the phone cut out, I thought to myself, Jake's disgusted, isn't he?
No, man. I was like, proper bougie. I love flavours like that.
And then when I got back to you, I was like, just a vanilla roll.
I'm like, you sure, bro?
Yeah, man. Oh, good. But so listen, this is like we're doing something like a little bit different this week.
Yeah.
So say like most weeks we have on guests. So this week we just thought we'd do something like a little bit different, and we put out on like our socials like in midweek. If anyone like who watches or listens to us, if they could send in some questions, some suggestions, ideas about some talking points, what we can run through.
That's brilliant. And I just want to say first of all, thanks guys for just sending out your questions because it was really nice, good response as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully more in the future.
Yes, I like that because I think we get in here and we do what we do, and it's almost like we're in like our own little bubble. And then like we put things out, so we don't kind of generally get to. It's almost like what we're talking about with Sam the other week, cakes and ingredients.
Yeah.
We put the ingredients in, we put it in the oven. We just don't know what's going to come out. So it was nice. So I really appreciate people. So what we thought we would do, this because. As you can probably tell, none of this is actually scripted. Everything is just off the cuff, and it's just basic. It's basically, say Spitfire, and as I do in general life, just wing it. Yeah.
I'm learning that skill myself.
That skill, bro. Stick with me long enough, and I will teach you how to wing. I'm going to get you flying through life. So like amongst all the questions what we got sent through, we had to kind of like shortlist a few. So what we can do is we'll go through like a few today. So some of the ones that kind of jumped out at me most. One of the first questions we saw was from a young lady on Insta called "Working with You in Mind." She sent like a couple of really good questions.
Yeah, she did.
And I thought to myself, these could be something we can probably just trying to chew the fat with a little bit. So the first question was, how can compare? Where's my words gone, bro?
I don't know. Who's bad for yours?
Yeah. How competing can impact your mental health?
Yeah.
Which it's something which I can probably wade in on. But then we kind of thought to ourselves, it's like not everyone competes.
Yeah.
So it was also kind of like the question of just general health journeys as well, because I think ultimately they all have an effect.
100%, 100%, bro. impacts mental health completely. Yeah. So first of all, let's just start from your journey, from your bodybuilding.
So I think like I get like a lot of people ask about it, well, they're intrigued to either go and compete and to get on stage, because like, listen, above all, it's a milestone. It's not something that everyone can do. I think when you start to get into it, you realize like how kind of hard it actually is, and it's just not about like as we've said before, about diets and training. It impacts like a lot of things across the board, and as you've heard me say before, that like doing bodybuilding or doing competing is a very lonely place to be. So you spend so much time in your own head. You may have a coach or someone to kind of guide you a little bit, but like you go to bed on your own at night time, obviously with you if you've got your partner there. Like, but like it does. I understand that it does have an impact.
So where did you say, like when you go into bed, for example, with your partner and stuff? Was it a case of like you went to bed at a certain time, then she came in, or did the pair of you go to bed at the same time?
Sometimes with even just with bedtimes, it's like, imagine that like I've been because like I'm an early riser anyway. Like I always I'm always up around about say 5 o'clock thereabouts anyway. Then we're in the gym, we go training, and like we have our bland breakfasts in the morning. We have like obviously just like the proteins and just general things, and you can't. It's almost like when during your day, it's a fight. It's a fight from dealing with people offering you biscuits and food and this and that and going out and doing stuff. So when you get to a certain point at night, you're exhausted. You've had enough. You don't want to hear no conversations about anything, and it's just like you get to a set point. It's like, right, I just need to sleep. And maybe if you've got like a partner, or if I've had a partner in the past, and like they just want to say, let's watch a film or sit. I'm like, no, this is my day. My day's done here. And so like it starts to. I've seen it like knock your balance, like because like I think sometimes when you're with in the partner, you're in some form of sync with each other. We both go to bed at this time, or we both eat at this time, or so it knocks a lot of what you do as a couple out of sync. Sometimes, so you're not eating the same together, and you're not really going out the same together. So because you're not going out, well, she may not be going out, or they may not be going out. So it does have an effect in that way. So you won't see it at first, but within let's say a few weeks of you doing what you're doing, and then they realise that, hold on, he has to be doing this for like another 2 or 3 months. And I'll be very honest with you, it's caused like disagreements and arguments and whatever. So when you're fighting in your own head of trying to, what it's like. So when you wake up every morning, scales and and looking, and you want it to look a certain way, then you've got to deal with your partner, which and you can't be unfair to them, because like they were part of your journey before that. So it's
a bit of a lonely place, isn't it? I can see that. Like, and I don't know about you, but like when it comes, obviously, like photo shooting and competing, even though they're two different disciplines, they're very, very going hand in hand. So I don't know about you, but when it comes to like cooking food together and stuff, like for me, as of now, because I'm still not competing, but I'm prepping for my third shoot. Like just today, like mom's like, oh, I'm cooking chicken tonight. I'm like, oh, that's great, but I'm like, right, I need to section my portions ready for the following week. So, and you can see it in her face where she's a bit like disheartened, because we all love eating together as a family, even though like mom's watching TV, dad's doing his own thing over there, and I'm just sat in the middle. That's that communal thing, and I think especially when you're doing prepping and competing and stuff, I find it a little bit upsetting, because you just don't get the chance, because you have to eat a certain set of meals and certain types of food, where they can probably go a bit extra with adding a bit more sauce or adding a bit like full fat mayonnaise, more cheese, where you're just sticking to this very, very light food. And I don't know about you, but there's days for me where I've gone a bit like, yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, but I'm eating this. So did you find that jarring, especially with competing with your little one as well? Or?
For myself, I was kind of very self-aware of what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. And I was very fortunate to have my mom and my son and like people around me to kind of
brilliant,
kind of support me.
Yeah.
But I knew that like it was just that was that was me and a few others who had that, but like there were a lot of other people who didn't have that level of support. And even though we're just talking about like the food part and at home, it's everything else that goes with it, because ultimately we're trying to aim for a place where we can look our kind of like aesthetic best. And you know, you'll start to see results as time and months go by, but you'll see great results maybe here, but you're not really paying attention to what's what's
going on there.
It becomes you kind of create your own level of normality in your head. And to you, you've justified that, oh, this is okay, that like we don't sit down to eat together. I just eat from a plastic bowl and I just eat this food and I just don't go out and like, you know, and even when you say I'm okay, you don't realise like sometimes how miserable you actually are, but like you've kind of justified it within your own head that you're all right.
I don't know about you, but as in when you've like started to clean, like losing your body fat and stuff, and like so your overall mood changes. But like to you, you're probably thinking, I'm still Bouncy John, I'm still Jolly John, but other people start picking up things like you're acting a little bit different. And so for me, I've obviously doing this prepping a lot. I've always been like, because you know me, and like loads of people who know me in the gym, I'm just this big idiot. Like obviously I'm wearing the bloody wizard t-shirt today, but like there's some people where I feel like I'm fine, I'm absolutely fine, but then people go, no, you're completely different today. I'm like, am I? And they're like, yeah, you're not. Or they go, you're still your jolly self, but you're not like Jake. You're like Jake, not Jake. You know what?
Jake.
You know that. You know what I mean?
You couldn't put it any better, because it's almost like there's John, but then there's John.
Yeah.
And like, and if anybody's like, you know, I don't know whether it's just me and you, just because we're talking now and we're going, only me and you know what we mean. But it's almost like in the term of glass half empty or full, and it's still the glass, but like obviously, you know, people know when it's like they can see that it's half full, but we're going, well, there's still stuff in the glass, and that's fine.
It's fine. And I know about like, so for me, like I've noticed when I get tired, I get rattled a lot quicker. And so like just today, so obviously I've had my coffee today. I've had an extra shot of espresso in my coffee because I needed a kick me up. But just to certain things, like I was walking my dog earlier today, and normally like my dog, he likes pulling, and if I was a Jake in pulling, I'd be like, yo, calm down, and I'll be like, stop it. But today he just got under my skin, and I was like that, and I got really angry. Then like when I continued walking, like I kind of like overanalyzed what I just did. I was like, yeah, I am getting tired. And there has been other moments recently where where the hangry side has come out. And my favorite recent one was basically my mom's got a mobile hairdresser, and she came over and did my mom's hair. And basically in our kitchen, that's the big room, that's the biggest room in the house, so you can do hairdressing in there. And basically I left my last meal for the day in the kitchen. Now obviously most people go, well, it's your house, you can just walk in the kitchen as you please, but I've been like, I've gone, no, that's my mom's time. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to leave her that. I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave I'm going to wait till she goes. So I'm sat in the living room, and I can feel my eyes slightly getting heavier and heavier. and I can feel my stomach just doing that aggressive growling. So I'm like, oh no, here we go. Then obviously my dogs are like a choir. One starts, the other one starts, and one, I think Molly, that's my one dog. She started barking, and I went, Molly, stop. Rufus, that's my other dog, literally was like, oh, we're barking too. Oh, stop barking. And I was like, will you shut up? Really loud like that. And like the hairdresser came running, like went, what the hell's going on? Mom was like, and she was like, is that Jake? And my mom's like, yeah. And the hairdresser's like, I've never seen him act like that. Yep. And mom's like, yeah, that's his hangry side.
Your patience level.
Yeah,
it's like
patience just goes.
And I think it's things like that where you kind of reducing carbs, you're reducing like certain things within your diet, which will get you to there so quickly, and you would not realize that, like, obviously drastic changes within your diet can have those massive impacts. So, you know, obviously working around to what we were talking about with the your mental health and whatever. So you go down on a strict diet for 3 to 4 months or whatever, and it's having an impact on you. And as you say, like, you're reacting in a way which you'd not usually react.
Yeah.
In your own head, you're like, well, I'm actually okay. It's just this. But then sometimes if you're kind of self-aware, you'll probably kind of check yourself a little bit. But then if you're doing so, you know, if going back to like health journeys, so most people who step into the gym who want to lose weight, they're on a health journey.
Yeah.
And if they haven't got like the right kind of guidance, you'll hear people say things, you've probably heard this before, oh, I'm just going to cut my carbs out, or I'm going to cut this out and I'll do this for this length of time. And some of them will do it, and they'll do it for like long lengths of time, but not realise the impacts they're having on themselves.
Yeah.
And they may see themselves start to lose weight or look better, and they'll do this for so long, and it takes like they could be doing it for maybe a year or a year and a half. Something happens, like say they mention that they break their ankle, or they have an injury, and now they can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then their world starts crashing down. And it's not that it's like, for them, not being able to go to the gym and not being able to eat in that way, that's where, you know, if you're not balanced up within your mind, everything just starts, as I say, starts crashing down. But like your mind isn't saying be rational. This is like a little bit of time away from what I'm doing. I know I love going to the gym, but like, you just go to the extreme end. And as I say, like, I think it's if we're not paying attention, we're compounding over time, and the stuff that we're compounding isn't great stuff. It's like we're not paying attention to what we're doing. I think me competing, like, obviously I realized how I felt for that space of time, but then after the other downside now is like, after I'd finished competing, I get to a point where it's like, okay, now I can eat normal food.
That was going to say my next question for you.
And now you're opening like another can of worms, because so at the moment, when you wake up each morning and you're seeing yourself look better and better, that's because of like the lack of like these certain foods and things you're having. So when it all stops, where do you go?
I think this is the one bit I panicked. Like, I remember my very first, the end of my very first shoot, and my coach was like, right, you went, well done, big yourself up, just have a week off, just to reset everything, don't go too mad, then just relax, then we'll go back. That was probably the most stressful week ever, because I woke up and I was literally like, what do I eat? And how much do I
wait? Do I not wait?
Yeah, exactly. And so I started panicking, stressing, and so I could remember it, because I was just panicking, because the back of my head's like, I want to keep this physique, but then like I said, your negative thoughts go, no, I want to keep this, I want to keep this, I want to keep this. But then realistically, it's like, that's not sustainable.
Yes.
So obviously you battle your mind going, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But then like, obviously from there on, obviously there'll be some certain, not side effects, but like just you're a bit more aware and alert of what food choices and stuff. And it can be a bit jarring for some people, because when you go, right, I'm going to go to eat out this weekend here, I'm going to go to the Harvester. I don't want a burger, even though I probably want a burger. I'm like, I'm not having a burger. I'm just going to have some steak and chips and stuff. And they're like, and the people are like, but you can do steak and chips at home. Why can't you have a burger? And I'm like, I'm not a fan of it. But it's just like, you have a better, not better, but you just kind of have this some form of like, what's healthy, what's not healthy. And I've met some people as well, when they do a diet, when they do a cut, then they get to the physique they want, but then they have this battle of what's healthy, what's not healthy. And I see a lot of, it doesn't have to be competitors, it doesn't have to be people who shoots, I think it's just general people as well, where they will start labeling, that's good, that's bad, I'm not having that. So I think, if anything, I think when you start cutting, the mental health's there, but the how that impacts your mental health is there. But I think it's a lot bigger after, because you're trying to sustain a normal lifestyle. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I think when I thought about this now, and as you're talking, I would say sometimes it's down to a lack of education.
Yeah,
and not being given like the right information of. So if you have got a coach of whatever form, they should explain to you about obviously what you're going to go through, what you may have to deal with.
yes.
Understand if so bodybuilding coach for competition, lifestyle, two separate things. Yeah. And when it's if what I've generally come to see is sometimes like people will merge the lifestyle into a bit of like the competing and whatever. It does not work. It doesn't work,
because you see some people, when I've seen some people in the gym and they're not competing, they want to lose weight and they want to do a normal lifestyle, and they just slash their calories to like nothing, to like bones, thinking, oh, this is gains. And I think this is where a lot of people trip up on their fitness journeys, especially the weight loss journeys, because they just see, everyone assumes cutting, they think the diet is what a bodybuilding and what we're doing, that's what the diet is, where in reality we keep saying to them, that's not dieting, that's extreme dieting, that's a dieting that you don't want to be doing. What you want to do is a lifestyle. So you basically just need to eat more whole foods, less processed foods as minimum as possible, move more, stay active, better rest and stuff, and like the fundamentals. I think the way I learned from this when I did my nutrition course, they said like nutrition, there's like 3 islands of nutrition, and each of them get less prosperous as you go on. So level 1, so island 1 is like a tropical paradise. That's where, like utopia, that's where everyone should be on. Like you learn, like I said, the fundamentals of calories in, calories out, and you have a better mindset with food, like eat more whole foods, minimize your processed foods, and make better choices. And you can thrive off that. Just the really core basics. Everyone's loving life because you can still go out and have a life. Island 2 is pretty much like the beginning stages of you competing and prepping for photo shoot and stuff. So it's bit more deserted, there's less people there, you can kind of like teeter away from it every now and then, but it's more predominantly like you've got to stay with this realm. Island 3 is like Castaway, just like the last stage of prepping, the last stage of competing. You're in no man's land. It's like you shout hello, you don't hear a response back, and that's the extreme dieting. That's where you can't deviate the plan. No ifs, no buts. And so many nutrition coaches and dietitians always say like, that's the island you don't want to go into.
But don't you find that they merge them?
Yeah.
They put them too close. I think they put it. I'm thinking that they put them too close together.
Yeah.
So you can island hop.
Yeah. Like so, some people, they literally just go. They do the lifestyle for 2 weeks. They think, right, I'm gonna go mad. I'm gonna jump over there. I'm gonna do like 4 sessions of 4-hour sessions of cardio a week. And you're like, no, what's your goal? I just want to lose a stone. Just get to island 1. Just stick in island 1. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
But I generally feel that, like, at the moment, like obviously within social media or just information out there, there's a lot, and I think it's conflicting.
Yeah.
And a lot of time when people are trying to obviously make changes within their own life, the first thing you're going to do is start searching for information.
Yeah.
And every bit of information that you need or want to find is going to be on YouTube, it's going to be on your social medias.
Yeah.
And what I generally tend to find is too much information. It will kind of cross over into each other, and then one person will give you. Imagine like if you switch on your Insta or wherever wherever you get information from, and you see PT A, and he says, balance this, train a little bit like this, do this, and you'll get there. And then ultimately, someone will go, okay, yeah, I'll do that. They'll do it for a week or 2 weeks and then don't see no results in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now they're going to question whether that person's ethics are right or whether they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because now they'll ask someone else now like for another bit of information, and they'll go, well, I'll follow this guy on here and he says do this. So you'll keep on chopping and changing and getting different bits of information to the point where nothing has been seen through to the end.
And you don't really move.
You won't move because, like, and this is what I mean. Like, it's all kind of comes back down to like the mental health side of it all, where you continually keep on chopping and changing with information, chopping and changing how you feel. 1 week you feel majorly up because you started in like a new diet and like start a new regime. Then the week after you're down because you haven't got like 6-pack. The week after by drinking a protein shake or doing what you do.
And I think some people have this stupid expectation. They think like there was a picture I saw a couple of weeks recently rather, and they say weight gain progression, and you had like this really scrawny guy. And they got bigger, and it said minimum 3 years. That's just like hear and say.
Yeah.
Weight loss. We've got the fat guy, still over the fat guy, and still over the skinny guy. Expectation 3 weeks. And I think some people don't understand. Like fat loss journey is not just a 8 or 12-week program. It's a lifestyle. And I think some people have any jarring, and I think like the best way I've learned this is from James Smith, a bit of a blib here, but he's pretty much said like this side is the fat guy, this guy is the skinny guy. Since the dawn of time, we always knew it was the less you eat, you're going to get scrawny. The more you eat, you're going to get bigger. That's it. It's been like that since the dawn of time, since we started walking on this earth. Somewhere down the line, someone realized in the middle, I can make a living off this. I can make it. So they started branching off like, the reason why you're not losing fat loss, it's not because it's calories in, calories out. It's you're not fasting, or you're not doing keto, or you're not being a vegan, or you're not being this type of dieting. And they've profited, and I think that's the middle bit here where people are starting to question it. When you tell them it's the more you move, the less you eat, that's pretty much the fundamentals. You can always see someone going, but there's a catch, isn't there? What's the catch?
Everyone's looking. I think like everyone. Well, not everyone. I can't say everyone because I don't know everyone. But I think like you give information, but it's even if you kind of 100% know, people are still going to go. Really? Is it like that? And I don't think you're ever going to escape that. I don't think you're ever going to escape that. And so like unless you have obviously clients like we've got who will probably believe and trust in us, and they'll say, "Look, I do this," and they see the results and the outcome. That's all well and good. But like I think the other thing, movement. I think with some of these like thing like the competing and obviously the day-to-day of like obviously changing around your diet and whatever. People don't talk about the fact that like not everyone will make it, and not everyone's gonna do it, and like it's, as I said, that's where the questions start getting asked and saying, well, I don't believe, well, he was a terrible coach, or, and don't get me wrong, you probably will get a terrible coach, or, and who just doesn't really understand like the way that your body works, but like also you can get somebody who is ultimately superly successful in the way that they want to look, but like sometimes you don't get like the questions of like how long it's going to stay like that for.
Yeah.
Because like the question that people say to me, I want to get ripped, and I used to kind of throw people off and go, so how long for? And they'll say, huh? I'm like, you want to be ripped, but how long for?
Yeah.
And it's like,
they look at you like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Because I say you do realise that like you're not going to stay like that forever. You'll stay like it for a length of time, and I've probably like lost people who are probably potential clients because I've asked them like those kind of questions and given them like real
questions though.
Yeah.
That's real questions. Like I can always remember back in my early days of being a PT, someone was like, "Oh, I want to get a 6-pack," and I went, and we were chilling in the pub. I went, "All right," and stopped going to the pub because he was drinking excessively. I was like, "Cut that out," and he literally went, "You what?" And I was like, "All that." You need to stop doing that, and you can see some people go, "But I don't want to do that." Then you go, "Okay."
Well, don't have like the 6-pack that you desire. But But on the flip side of it all, I would say to someone that like if you enjoy having a drink every now and again, cool. But don't if you enjoy having a drink every now and again, cool. But when you say to me things like, I can't just have 1 point, I have to have 16 or 17. So well, expect to get what you get from that. You can't kind of. I think there's a point of delusion.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I've said to some clients, you can have it, by all means you can have it, but then you've just prolonged your journey. Say like you say you have a goal to lose 2.5 stone within 4 months, and then you're picking out every weekend. You go, by all means you can do that, but you've just prolonged your fitness journey. And I think sometimes they have this weird perception, that's not going to cause that, that's not going to harm it. But it's like we discussed earlier in the previous episode with Aaron, we were saying like people go, one won't just hurt. Like, yeah, one won't just hurt, but that one can change your mindset and relationship and make a bigger impact on your mental health than you realize. So it's just like trying to find that balance in a way.
Well, as I said, I think it's trying to find the balance, but it's whether you want it. And I think so we'll keep on shoehorning in like the word mental health, because like it's very prevalent into today's time. So
100%.
Another thing obviously I was thinking about with this, obviously about this subject, is like how I've seen people who don't know how to be after their journeys ended.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like they're on an island, and it's like they'll spend the next God knows how many months maybe looking back at photos or enjoying so that they go from being superly strict to just doing what they want. And it's almost like, well, I'm celebrating because like I went on my diet and I've done what I did, so now I'll just eat what I want and drink what I want, and like now the weight is piled back on, and then maybe a year down the line they'll go, okay, it's time for me to start sorting myself out again. I remember when I was like this. I remember when I was like this. And I'm like, well, you're creating like
a vicious cycle.
A vicious cycle. And you spend like a lot of time talking about like how you used to look. I have like I do have clients who show me pictures of, so if I've got like a client who's like 40 plus and they show me pictures of when they were 18 and 19 and whatever, and I'm saying, well, you do realize you didn't have to work for that
when you're that age.
And then obviously when you get into like your mid ages and you're having to work for it, you're not paying attention what you need to do in order to sustain it.
Yeah.
But like I'll say it leaves people in some real like sad states.
Yeah.
And as I say, like I don't think they've paid attention to like how they've got there, because I've seen people with like levels of eating disorders.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but when back on the mental health, when they show you the body where what they were when they're 18, 25, 30, and I've had clients before and they showed me photos. I want to be that person again. I'm like, okay then, but what was that person like what was that person like when you were 30? And they're like, how do you mean? So say like I've like one of my clients, Tony, for example, like this is basically just Tony out of the name, not another client, but he showed me a picture. This is me when I was 30. He's 40 now. And I'm like, all right, and what was Tony like when he was 30? And they go, what do you mean? And you're like, so was Tony happy? Was he enjoying life? Then they kind of go, no, I wasn't really happy. I didn't really like where I was in a crap relationship. And you kind of go, so can you stop chasing this body image, because your mental health has a bigger impact. So when I was 20, for example, like I was happy. I wasn't happy. Like I was young, for example, but I wasn't in a state where like my body wasn't really that good, but my mind was clearer. A couple of years down the line, if when I'm 40 and I look where I am now, what was Jacob like when he was 30? Still unsure about himself, a little bit nervous, still a bit confident. Oh, he had a good physique, yeah, but was he happy mentally? And they're like, no.
And the thing is, you know what? Yeah, like that's a perfect point. I think like the thing is like when you're younger, your metabolism just depends on how your makeup is, but sometimes like your general, someone who shows you a better version of themselves when they was 18, 19, 20, and whatever. Next question you want to ask them, say, how hard did you have to work for that physique?
Yeah. How
many times a day were you, at 19 and 20, between the age of 19 to 25 or 30, whatever age it is, the age that you were showing me, how many times were you training and working out and eating great to be that way? And 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, I wasn't really. I was just going out I was going on benders every week. Because like your body's like it's still kind of it's still fast acting, and you're active and you're moving around, you're doing stuff, but like you're not.
It's like what you just said then. So as we've got older, we get older, we get lazy. We get lazier. So remember back in the day when people go, oh, my metabolism's broken. It's like, no, it's not broken. You've just got lazier. We've all done it. So remember back in the day when we were kids, we didn't have a car, and we wanted to see if our mates were out to go out. What did we do? You walked. You walked and go, oh, can Callum come out and play? Oh, okay. Then as we got older, we got phones and stuff. But then as we got older, we didn't have money to get a car. So what did you do? You walked it or biked it everywhere. I used to walk everywhere.
You still do?
And I still do anyway. But as a kid, you know what I mean? Then as you get older, you get a car, you start doing this. Then obviously now, people now, like we can order food at their fingertips now. We can literally just wake right out of bed and just go, right, done. And we haven't moved. And we just got asked because my metabolism is broken down. It's like, no, you've just got lazier. You just
as I said, I feel like we can all make excuses.
Yeah.
And I think like when you jump on the self-justification route, there's always an answer.
Yeah, there's always an answer.
There's always an answer which kind of fits your criteria for why the reason why something isn't happening. And I say, like I think like a lot of the time it's down to paying attention, but like. I think it's easy to say pay attention. That's only if that's what you want to do. So I think like sometimes like the reality of things, sometimes the brutal reality people don't want to look at.
Yeah,
and they
want
want
truth about themselves.
And I think your part of your growth is understanding what you do and what you don't do, and the way you react and the way you don't react, and then what you're going to do about it. It's a bit of a brutal cycle, but like ultimately what I would say is, until you start to look within, there's no point looking out on anybody else and what happens and on what happens with him, her, or whatever. You have to kind of check for your own patterns on how they're affecting you.
Man, that's definitely. But I think as well, with like, to wrap things up and stuff, I think like for mental health, it's so important, but you need to have support, that network, that small kit of support. Like I wouldn't be able to do this prep properly if it wasn't for like my mom, my friends, my partner, just to say like, well, just to keep me in check and just support me. If I didn't have any of that, or any of that was slightly off, ball game set match, I'll be done.
But you know what, just to throw like this in there, but I do feel there are some people out there who may not have it, who may not have that support. So it's trying to be that person to big enough to go, can I get some help from somewhere else, or can somebody give me some support? And there is support out there, and there is, you know, like it's like even choosing like obviously a PT or a guide or a mentor, asking the right questions on how they can help you.
And I think it's definitely as well, like it's not always about like personal training and stuff. You just need, it's just a simple hello, just a simple chat, and just go, how's your day been? And just be open. And I think like if you're reaching out to help, it doesn't have to be like I need help. It's more the case of I want to chat to someone today. Just doing that, that's just going to help you feel less stressed, and you've got someone's support. And I think that is vital. If anyone can take away from this podcast today, it's just simply just talk and just generally just chit chat, and like get people involved, get an accountability buddy or get a coach just to support you every step of the way, because without that, your mental health, especially with like competing, shooting, it's just going to be too much to handle.
Or if you see me and Jay come in the gym, give us a shout. We'll listen.
And that's what I mean. Just shout. Just if you like, you know us guys. Like you can always so you can follow us on social media, and like just if you see us in the gym, just reach out and just chat. Like you can chat about anything. Like if you want to chat about like football, I mean I won't be able to help you because I have no interest in playing football. But I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. But we can chat about anything. So our doors are always open, guys. So please just come and grab us. Just chat to me. Just chat to me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. Right. So we just wrap this up today?
Yes, ma'am. So, awesome. Right then, guys. So we shall cut it short there, and until next time. Jake, what am I saying? Well, I'm always losing my words, Jake.
So pretty much, you can always reach out to us, guys. Follow us on Instagram. You can follow me at jwright.pt.
And look for me, John Collins, IFBB Pro. I'm always switching this up each week, but just look for John Collins.
Just look for John Collins. Look for jwright.pt. You just see, or just follow the page at Dan the Core Podcast. And we'll be there.
I'm the worst plugger in the world, aren't I?
Bro, don't you worry. Practicing it. But until next time, guys, stay safe. Peace. Yeah.